Yesterday, in Part 1 of our exclusive report, General Ray Odierno described how the surge targeted not just al-Qaeda, but the Jaish al-Mahdi as well.
Our approach was not just against al-Qaeda, but it was against all of the extremist elements, both from the Shia side and the Sunni side.
After the surge, Odierno is seeing a change in the Shia militias.
I think that the militias, JAM as a militia, has been reduced significantly. I think we are going to start to incorporate some of those. Some have, and I think we'll continue to incorporate some of them back now into the Iraqi security forces. We have to go through the same process. We have to have confidence-building measures to make sure, are they really serious about being part of the future of Iraq, or do they still want to fight the government of Iraq and try to destabilize the government of Iraq? So we have to go through the same process. The signs are there that, in fact, I believe that JAM as the mainstream organization is not going to use violence to move forward. They're going to move to a humanitarian type of organization. There are those, though, who have split off from them, who will do nothing else but violence against coalition forces, as well as try to gain political influence through violence in the government of Iraq. Those are the ones we have to focus on.
And Sunni extremist groups like al-Qaeda, though marginalized, are still trying to sow instability.
Significantly limited. Most of them have really made a choice. Either go to the government of Iraq or you start working with al-Qaeda in Iraq. There are some that don't, but there's not very many. And so what we have to now do is obviously continue to work the al-Qaeda in Iraq problem. It's much smaller than it was. Had been degraded significantly. However, they're still capable up in the north, and we're working that. We have to eliminate that passive support that's up north. And what you're seeing, again, they're trying to now, again, to eliminate that passive support by working the seams, the Arab curved seams up there. And so they're trying to create tensions. And lately you've seen them try to create tensions by targeting Christians. And so what they do is they try to create instability among the people there so they can then take advantage of that. So what we have to do is eliminate that instability. And it's important we do that. And it's not really a total military solution. In fact, the majority of the solution is political. A provincial government that's representative of the people, a provincial government that will deliver to the people. And that's one of the main things we have to get fixed up in Nineveh province.
The political solutions are the key to long-term stability, and the political rivalries of the various factions are a natural outgrowth of the gains in security.
We still have this internal tensions between the leadership that could devolve into violence later on. And I would argue that better security has brought this. They were united before because of the security concerns. Now that security has been improved, they are now staking out based on other issues, such as land disputes under Article 140, the use of the Peshmerga, the inner Shia rivalry for the struggle for power and control in the future. So we're starting to see them now raise up. That's the natural evolution, I believe, of progress. So what we have to now do is make sure they solve those problems in a way that's not violent, and they solve those problems through diplomatic and political execution.
And Odierno isn't afraid to call obstructionists to task, as he did several weeks ago during the negotiations over the Status of Forces Agreement.
What I would say about that, first off, it's important for us to understand that that what we're trying to do here is we're trying to work together with the government of Iraq so they can move forward. We have a bilateral agreement that's long-term that allows them to continue to move forward as a country. We both want the same thing. We're both working for the same thing. And we just want to make sure any of those that are trying to hinder that process, everybody understands who is trying to hinder it, and we're able to move forward. And that's really what that's about.
Even with all the security gains from the surge and progress in the Iraqi government, the next 12 to 14 months will be a pivotal time in Iraq.
I'm becoming more and more optimistic as we move forward. And as we become more and more optimistic, we'll be able to reduce our presence. We'll adjust our strategy. We're looking at that now. I think in 2009, you'll see an adjustment in that strategy. We'll be able to reduce our presence, give more responsibility over to Iraq slowly over time. But 2009 is a very important year because of the elections. You have provincial elections. 6 months later, you have district and sub-district elections. And then 3 or 4 months after that, you'll have the national elections. If we can get through those, they are fair, free, makes the government of Iraq appear more legitimate. I think we're now moving to a more stable Iraq where we're really getting closer to what we believe should be the steady state relationship between us and the government of Iraq.
I'm Gabe Ledeen.